Hi, everybody. It's Marjorie Waldo with Culture Under Fire, making a case for the arts. And today's episode is about tourism, TDCs, Tourist Development Councils, and the arts economy. The arts are not just culture. They're Florida's competitive edge. In this episode, I'm sitting with Milton Segarra, and I am going to explore with him how arts and culture drive Florida's $100 billion plus tourism economy. We're going to discuss how cultural programming strengthens destinations and keeps visitors coming back. Milton, I am so glad you're here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marjorie. It's a pleasure to be here. Looking forward to this conversation.
You and me both. I'm really grateful. So let me brag about you a little and tell people about your background. So you are the president and CEO of Discover the Palm Beaches, and you've been doing that for 4 years now, I think.
3 as a CEO, 4 with the organization.
Okay, yes. Okay. You have over 30 years of career experience that focused on hospitality and tourism, and that included Meet Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico's Convention Bureau, and the Coastal Mississippi Tourism Board, which I'm very curious about how you went from Puerto Rico to Mississippi to South Florida. That's a really cool journey. You've led the team at Discover in the implementation of the widest range of promotional efforts in the history of Discover the Palm Beaches, which is pretty impressive. After you started in the fall of 2022, the tourism's economic impact in Palm Beach County surpassed $10 billion for the first time. It's huge what you've accomplished.
It is. It's been a team effort, and when you have a team of the caliber that we have, paired with the type of stakeholders that we have, especially in the culture space, you can accomplish things like that.
It's magical, right?
It is. It's a true collaborative spirit, number one. And number two, the fact of the matter is that we have the assets to really excel. And that's the beauty of this destination. And that's why I discovered the Palm Beaches in conjunction with the team and the stakeholders and the county and other organizations such as the Cultural Council. We can accomplish the levels we are because we have the assets, we have the people, and we know exactly what we need to say.
And it seems like everybody's walking in lockstep, like we're all aligned with what we're trying to accomplish for our region, for Palm Beach.
I think that's part of the secret sauce, if I may define it that way.
Yes.
Destination promotion is not easy, Marjorie, and requires a lot of discipline, a lot of clarity, and making sure that you're aligned in a message. And I think we're very close in every of those categories to be close to a top-notch destination. Obviously, there's always space for improvement. But I think when you're talking about, in this particular case, about culture, the fact of the matter that we are Florida's cultural capital with more than 200 institutions across the county, specifically providing the experiences, the services, the support to the arts professionals across the county, that's a big difference. And that's one of the most important demand generators for this destination. We're successful because we have such a powerful and diverse cultural offering to the world.
I agree. I look at our sister organizations in the arts and culture sphere, and we're in very good company. We are impressed by all of the organizations that work in the same discipline as we do and what they accomplish. I mean, Florida's pretty fantastic because your Discover is also focused on the beaches, the climate, the sports opportunities. You're looking at everything that makes Palm Beach County magical, yes? It's not just arts and culture.
And that is something that we've been doing for more than 43 years.
That's impressive.
This organization, as a matter of fact, the two most important organizations, the Cultural Council, they've been 44 years and us 43. And the Cultural Council was the pioneer in establishing that relationship. So culture and the pillar of culture for the destination was the first one, honestly, to bring alive the brand and the presence of the destination in marketplaces. And as a result of that, at that time, the county says, you know what, we need an organization that could provide the services to position the Palm Beaches to the world. And that's us. That's Discover. That's our main responsibility. We are the destination marketing organization for Palm Beach County.
And we look to the Cultural Council. Dave Lawrence was on the podcast several episodes ago. We look to them for messaging so that we, and I hope other organizations like us do the same, they should be looking at the Cultural Council and Discover's messaging
Correct.
and vision for the county. An individual organization can follow your lead. By ourselves, we cannot lead the county, right? And we're greater in numbers.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Marjorie, that's music to my ears, and I'm glad you and your organization are thinking that way. We are a collection of very powerful brands, in every aspect, from cultural, from tourism, hotels, economic development, chambers, different organizations. And each and every one of those, we bring something to the mix.
Right.
But what we need to get is that connection across the messaging, that highlighting the value proposition of each organization. We are connected in a way or another to a supreme message that defines who we are.
For sure.
And that will cascade and will benefit every destination, regardless if it's in the tourism business or the business development or the arts, But we need that. And that's the part in which we're putting a lot of emphasis to make sure that we can identify a collective umbrella message, to call it in a way, that certainly can help us to keep positioning the Palm Beaches as a destination for successful arts, business, development, lifestyle, culture, tourism, all the different silos we're seeing in the economy, that it's providing significant economic impact to the county.
I think if you are not thinking at the macro level, you see, okay, Discover the Palm Beaches helps Arts Garage promote the work that we do all the time, right? Great, that's wonderful, and it's very meaningful. But bigger than that, every time Discover the Palm Beaches brings tourists to our part of Palm Beach County, to Arts Garage, it benefits every business that surrounds us. The hotels, the restaurants, the cities with tax impact or parking fees or any of that. So the rollover is much greater than just helping market the destinations that make up this beautiful county.
Absolutely. And art, culture, entertainment, it's one of the pillars of this, not the organization, but the destination. We divide the different demographics across the myriad and plethora of visitors that we have. And one of the most important, if not the most important, is the culture and arts. The amount of people that we receive, because they know they will enjoy the experience we portrayed as a high-level arts and culture destination. It could be music, it could be visiting museums, it could be really getting into the arts and craft that we have available across the county.
Right.
There is an experience for every arts and culture lover
in
this destination.
For sure.
And thanks to an organization like yours that you have fought so hard to establish your organization to the level that you have done with your team on board, that's what really makes us different.
Well, and what you said about your team and how you've been able to accomplish what Discover the Palm Beaches has under your leadership is the same for me. This is my 10th year at Arts Garage, which is amazing to me. It feels a little bit longer than that sometimes, and it also feels like
It's
I can't believe it past that. Past a lot of heavy lifting, especially at the beginning.
Yes.
We were a turnaround, so it was a fight to establish ourselves as a powerhouse. We wanted to be something that our county, our city could be really proud of and feel good about promoting. So it is only accomplished by the support of the board, the stakeholders, and for us, that was the city and the CRA, as well as many private donors and organizations like yours. So it's incredibly meaningful. So can I back out of this and go back to Mississippi for a second? Tell me what drew you to come from Puerto Rico to Mississippi. Is that where you went first?
Yes, to Mississippi.
Why in the world? It's a beautiful place.
It is
but
a beautiful place.
But it's very swampy, right? It's very humid and...
But let me explain you. It was a phenomenal... I've been in this industry for more than 30 years, as you said at the beginning of the podcast. And I love challenges. And I was offered... when you get to a certain level in your career, you're looking for opportunities to really... support more people and make a difference where you go. And in Mississippi at that time, southern Mississippi,
Yes.
the coast, which is a destination that draws 13.5 million visitors
It's
a year.
beautiful.
It is a big player in tourism. And they wanted to turn 3 different counties into one DMO.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it was a huge project, and they select me to do that.
How long were you there?
Almost 5 years, and at the end, the project was accomplished to the maximum opportunity, flourishing business, and then I had an opportunity to come here, and it was. But let me tell you, culture as well was part of the key. Wherever you go in this
Yes.
business, culture is the connector.
Yep.
It is.
Yep.
You know, it's a different vibe, it's a different approach, but it's culture
Yep.
and the arts. You know, in Puerto Rico was one thing, in Mississippi was another. Here it's a different thing. But at
Right.
the end, it's the representation of who we are and how we live and how we express our mindset in an artistic and actually fiduciary way with the lifestyle that we portrayed in the different places.
It matters for the citizens of those communities, but it also matters for tourists. I think almost most importantly, it matters when, and Kelly Smallridge schooled me on this.
Yeah.
One of the key things large businesses, or really businesses of any size, are looking for when they're considering moving their business to Palm Beach County is how their employees can live. What is the quality of life for their employees?
Absolutely.
And arts and culture is a huge part of that. So I think the impact on communities of arts and culture is really significant. It's part of a greater ecosystem, of course, but it is super important.
The quality of place and quality of life of every destination, it's one of the most important things, because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is to portray the way we live, you know,
Yes.
our lifestyle.
Yes.
And others wants to come and see that. At some point, tourism, maybe 5-10 years ago, was to go and visit a place, you know, that's still very important. But nowadays, what we want to do is we want to know how you live there.
Yes.
What's make you live there? What is
Yes.
the good things that you have that I can learn, that I can enjoy,
Yes.
that I can see in my visit, and to do that, the strength of the community in terms of arts and culture and the way we live and how we appreciate life and respect life, it's key, and that's what is making us a very attractive destination, because we have a phenomenal, from the beaches to different other assets. It could be culinary, it could be entertainment, it could be hotels,
Right.
you name it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, is what's the difference? What is the difference, I should say? And that's how we live. The prosperity and the well-being, Marjorie, that we portrayed to our visitors, it's key to see it so they can have an idea, you know, this is a different place. And when you put all of that together in one recipe, that's why we're seeing the numbers and the results that we're seeing.
It's amazing. I also think it has a lot to do with the individual professional vision that you have. And what you mentioned is very important to me, and I identify with that. You said that you reach a certain point in your career
Yeah.
where you want to make sure that I always say I want to leave it better than I found it, right?
Correct.
So you want to make a difference, you want to impact more people. And I really think that personal approach to the work itself is important, but that personal approach to the work is really sometimes a big part of that secret sauce. You get the
Absolutely.
right person in the chair who feels passionately about that and lets people and the impact you can make on people drive the work. You're doing something really magical.
Well, you mentioned Kelly Smallridge, which by any stretch of imagination, she's the best
Brilliant
one of the
woman.
best in the world.
Brilliant woman. Yes.
in attracting and developing.
Yes.
I mean, most of the economic development we are enjoying right now, it's because if it's not directly, she's been part of that conversation. And we're very grateful to partner with the BDB and the board, our board as well. As a matter of fact, very soon we're going to go to New York together to keep promoting the destination,
wonderful.
but from a tourism and economic development standpoint of view. But at the end, like you were saying a few minutes ago, the quality of place and quality of life, what we can offer to visitors, what we can offer to potential new residents, what we can offer to potential investors and companies that would like to see here. And again, I can tell you the quality of place and quality of life, which includes the cultural and the arts, it's key. And that's why we're attracting so many new visitors and companies to look at us.
I met recently, virtually, but I met a CEO of a company in Delray Beach specifically. And one of the founders of the company came to visit him on a weekend. And in that weekend, the founder also purchased a home in Delray Beach.
Wow.
And it was from what you're talking about. It's from showing up and, well, I mean, you have access to be able to make a decision like that so quickly, but showing up and finding this vibrant community that you want to be part of and that draws you to it. I think it's super, super important.
But, and if I may, let me tell you, that's why it's so important that, and I'm glad I'm having this conversation with you because I know the quality of the audience that you have and the listeners. It is important that we maintain this destination promotional model in place so we can get a fair share. And the most important thing is that promoting this destination for tourism, for the arts, doesn't cost a single cent to residents.
Talk about the tourist development tax, because most people hear the word tax.
Correct.
And they assume that as a resident of Delray Beach, I'm going to pay more money, so why should I support the tourist development tax?
Absolutely. And that's a fair assumption if you don't know the facts.
Correct.
And the facts are that the total collection of taxes are paid by visitors, not residents. Obviously, we have some residents that stay here, but that's a minimum component. So the majority of the funds are paid by visitors, that they pay a 6% room tax at hotels or alternate lodging. And that money goes into the county, and the county distribute that money not only for Discover, but as well to support the Cultural Council, the Film and TV Commission, the Sports Commission, and very importantly, the Environmental Resources Management Agency to take care of our beaches.
Oh, I didn't know it included
Yes,
that.
that's
But
important.
I knew the beaches. I didn't think about it from the environmental impact, but that's just me not
Correct.
following that line of thought.
But you're correct in the approach, and then as well it provides a very important allocation for future development in terms of infrastructure for the industry. So the model is a visionary, all-encompassing approach to the distribution of money that it's paid by visitors. And part of that, we use it to promote the destination. And that $11.6 billion, which was last year's economic impact, driven by more than 10 million visitors that came in 2025.
In 1 year, more
year.
than 10 million visitors. And if you are a resident, you my son will always tell me, he's in his early 20s, he says, well, it's season because people are busy and the traffic is worse. But what if we didn't have that 10 billion, that number, those 10 billion visitors?
Well, I can tell you, if we don't...
Billion or million? Did I say it wrong?
10
million
yes,
visitors.
10.7 is the correct number. Well, not having them, it will impact more than 95,000 jobs in the arts, tourism, culinary, which are so important. Because obviously you have the facilities maybe in Palm Beach or Delray, but those workers, they live in, I don't know, Royal Palm Beach.
Right.
Or they live in different places.
Yes.
You know, and that's why the tourism dollars, when they come back, that economic impact goes really into all the corners of the county. And that's really important. And not having those visitors will have an impact of that magnitude in our economy. We are one of the top 5 economies in the county. So as you can see, we have a very important share of the success. And
Yeah, I think it's something to definitely be proud of. And you've talked about the Cultural Council. If we look at the distribution of the tourist development tax dollars and where they go. So for Discover, you use it to promote all of the assets that make up Palm Beach County. The Cultural Council uses it in a multitude of ways, but one of the ways that benefits us directly, and I mean, all of this benefits us directly. I mean, a check arrives at Arts Garage,
the
right?
grants, yes.
And it's through the Cultural Council Cat B for us grant. And it is a marketing and tourism grant. And it's a rigorous grant application and reimbursement process. So we're required to show significant documentation that verifies the integrity of both our grant, the execution of our grant, and the reimbursement of our grant, right?
Correct.
Without that money, I mean, Arts Garage has been able to do magical things. We've been able to have a couple of billboards. We had a full-page ad in the New Yorker magazine, which blew us away, a lot of our audiences from the Northeast, and subscribes to that magazine. But there are a lot of things we've been able to accomplish with our marketing team because of those tourist development tax dollars.
But it's so important, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because I can assure you the commitment from Dave, Lawrence, Jennifer Sullivan, the entire team at the Cultural Council, to those specifics, it's key. We sit in boards together, specifically the TDC board, and I can attest to the commitment and the clarity in the messaging that Dave and the entire team provides to that board and to the stakeholders and the Board of County Commissioner about the importance of what they do. And most importantly, those specific dollars that goes directly to the organizations that are the stars. They are the stars of the show, providing the experience and the art and culture network that we need to be successful as a destination.
Well, and the Cultural Council for Palm Beach is one of the stars among organizations that are responsible for the distribution of these funds in their communities. And it's super important that we look to those gurus who have figured it out. They figured out how to do it fairly. They figured out how to manage it so that the dollars are going where they're intended to go and growing everyone's ability to live, work, and play in our county the way it's supposed to. And we hope that other counties will look to us. When we went to Tallahassee in January, and I saw you and your team there, we brought a team as well, and we talked to several people, including Senator Carlos Smith, who actually sponsored a couple of the tourist development tax bills that I was very concerned about, which have seemed to take a back seat. And I hope it's okay that we talk about that
absolutely.
Threat a little bit.
I met with him as well.
Yes.
I wanted to sit down with him, even though he's not part of our delegation. He's from Orlando, but Orlando is a very important player in the tourism for the state. And we explained it to him, hey, what you're trying to propose will have an impact, will negatively impact our ability to keep promoting. And
I even understood I talked to him a little bit about his motivation, or maybe I read it. I don't remember. I had a great conversation with him in Tallahassee, but I believe it's to find a better way to manage those tax dollars in his area, because Orlando is one of the areas that gets the most dollars. I mean, they've got so many attractions, large-scale attractions like Disney, et cetera. So a lot of visitors. And I really think it's not about, I'm from Southern Virginia. The expression would be, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Exactly.
So if your county needs help, look to the ones who have figured it out and make some changes at the county level that would help you feel better about how that money is being distributed. But it doesn't mean we have to threaten those dollars for everyone in the state, because they really matter to what we're able to accomplish.
Absolutely. And in this case, when I spoke with Senator Carlos Smith, I said, one size does not fit all in this conversation.
For sure.
You cannot compare Orlando, the number one destination in the world, with us or Tampa or the Keys. So it's a different approach. And hopefully this year, this session, I believe TDTs will be unaltered and will be good. But
I'm
it's
knocking
going to be
on
a
wood.
recurrent conversation. We need to be prepared to make sure that we come up with creative solutions to understand the thinking. And this is really important. You need to understand the thinking, the objective, the aspiration of those lawmakers, and see how you can benefit and come up with solutions and ideas that will protect the system, but also advance the goals and expectations that they have for being elected officials.
Well, it's the same kind of thing we were talking about. We were talking about how all these sister organizations are aligned in Palm Beach County. We should align ourselves with counties. There's a reason why those bills come up. And it's because whoever is the sponsor of that bill is concerned about how it's happening in in the area that they represent, right? So we have the knowledge base, the skill base, and the expertise to go and align with these counties and help them figure it out. So I hope that we can change that narrative a little. I think it's concerning because we're looking at very squeaky tight budgets across the state. And there's a lot of concern about how government dollars, so taxpayer dollars, are spent. And I hope we can make sure the narrative is clear that these are, in fact, not Florida resident taxpayer dollars.
Correct. I can assure you, as long as we have a fair chance to explain the facts,
Right.
we'll have a very good chance. You know,
Right.
there are some theories, school of thoughts about, I mean, we shouldn't be advertising because we're Florida. Well,
Right.
not any longer. We live in a different world.
Yes, we
Maybe
do.
20, 30 years ago, we were the only kid in town.
Right.
Everybody was coming here.
That's right.
Not any longer.
That's right.
We compete. We compete with Dubai. We compete
Yes.
with south of France.
Yes.
We compete with the Amalfi Coast. We
That's
compete
right.
with the Hamptons. We compete with Newport Beach in California. So in order to be successful, you need to have an effective, solid destination promotional effort that will keep the visibility of the destination amongst the audiences you have selected.
There are choices. And as a middle class, socioeconomically, I'm a middle class person, right? I choose where I'm traveling for fun, and I choose it carefully. And I can spend about the same amount of money to go to Venice for a week as I can Florida. So why should I choose Florida? And that story is really important. And if we stop investing in telling our story, it will mean maybe we're not visible to the people who are making those choices about where they want to visit and where they want to spend their dollars.
And at the end, the residents, the lawmakers, they want to see results.
Yes.
Return on investment.
Yes.
And I can tell you, and we have done this in a very scientific way, for every dollar that we spend in media, we generate $3.55 in taxes.
Isn't that something?
$1, $3.55 back in taxes.
that
for
feeds into the local municipalities.
Correct. By every dollar we invest, we generate $139 in direct spending and $182 in economic impact. So you do the math and you know that the tourism dollar goes deep and go far in not only in maintaining a well-structured tourism industry, but as well a solid and a place which is full of quality of place, quality of life for the residents.
For sure. For sure. I think you're amazing. And you remembered all those numbers without having to look at a cheat sheet, which I could never do. Very impressive. Okay, so I think we've covered most of the questions I sent to you. What I would like to find out from maybe if you could tell me what has been or what are two of the most amazing things you feel that you've accomplished in Palm Beach County, specific things. Can you identify anything like that?
Well, for me, the most, and this is bordering personal, but the fact that I have felt so welcome in this community gave me an opportunity to really commit and provide the skill set that I have to the service of not only the organization, but as well the community. And that it's an amazing feeling, honestly, when you feel that you go to the next level of performance. And number two, which I think is the reason why, is to really commit and get close to a phenomenal team at Discover the Palm Beaches. We have 53 people in our organization.
Wow, that's a lot of folks. And they're all really strong. They're very helpful.
Their commitment is, there are really good people committed with the organization and the destination. And having their support has been like so important to me. So, I mean, I can tell you a few, but those two are critical for me and for my family, by the way.
It's all about that feeling of family. Like Arts, I've been a leader for a long time. And my approach to leadership has always been to make my team feel like a family of choice, right?
Absolutely.
And as a an organization that brings patrons in, we want those people to feel part of the extended family. And when you have that vibe in your organization, when you have that feeling, you've accomplished something good, really good, because those 53 people or my 19 or 20 are going home feeling good about what they do because they feel part of something larger. And I think it's pretty magical.
It is. When you have the blessing of having the opportunity every single day to represent this county, this destination, these communities, it is a responsibility, but it's an honor, and it's a great professional challenge as well. So we're all in and really pleased to be part of this community, and we thank you for your support, by the way.
No, we couldn't do it without you. I mean, we couldn't do it without you. So if I can sing your praises, I'll sing them till the cows come home.
Thank you.
But I really think that you make Discover and your leadership make a lot of what, let me say it the way I want to say it. I think that what Discover is accomplishing is huge. You are making me want to continue living in Palm Beach. And I wasn't here my whole life. Kelly Smallridge was born and raised and came back after, I think she went to UF, came back after that, or Florida State, I don't remember. But she talked about how her buy-in was from that. My buy-in, and I was born in Key West but was not raised there, came to Florida in the mid-90s, started in Miami Beach. I stay in Delray because of the community that allows me to be me and celebrates my contributions. I feel like I am going to family reunions when I go to city commission meetings, and I've known these people forever, and you see community members that you've partnered with. It's a pretty special thing, and I'm glad to hear you say that your family feels that love too, that
Absolutely.
That they feel the inclusive nature of it. I'd like to think that our entire world could make us all feel that way.
At the end of the day, the big difference, and this is how we created this destination statement, in which, what we're trying to do is to see how we're representing 39 different communities. That's who we are.
Palm Beach is a very diverse county.
Very diverse, one of the largest in the nation, if not the largest. As a matter of fact, the county's GDP, it is the 64th largest in the world.
Wow.
So that's
a pretty impressive number.
It's a very impressive number.
Yeah.
So having the type of leadership that is needed, like right now, having a county administrator, Abruzzo, at the helm, he's a phenomenal guy, and he knows, and he's really looking forward to push this county to the next level, and that's where we go. And this is how the support and the supporting cast that we are part of, to make sure that we can keep propelling those numbers, that quality of place. And at the end, you have seen the growth in tourism. You have seen the growth in the arts and
absolutely
and culture. You have seen the growth in lifestyle. You have seen the growth in finance, healthcare, you name it. But the key is that we've been able to maintain that sense of balance.
Yes.
That's the difference.
Yes.
That is the secret sauce, the superpowers about that well-being and prosperity that we can portray. That's what is attracting visitors and potential new residents to this place.
Agreed.
And as long as we can maintain that, the future is bright.
Agreed. And those stakeholders are key in that process. I mean, we're celebrating our 15th anniversary with a ribbon cutting next Tuesday. I hope you'll come. Bring your
Congratulations.
team. If you'd like to come, have a free glass of Prosecco and celebrate with us. And we have many of the local commissioners and stakeholders that are coming. We also have County Commissioner Bobby Powell Jr., who's registered, and Vice Mayor Marcy Woodward is going to read an off-site proclamation for us. Yeah. That visibility from the stakeholders really matters in supporting all of our work. So knowing that we have people leading in our county that are willing to stand up with us and beside us, I think is really meaningful.
Absolutely.
I cannot thank you enough. I think we've hit the magic hour. I can't thank you enough. This has been lovely. It didn't feel like it, but this is the first time when we've been able to talk one-on-one for any length of time except to say hello. And it was a lovely opportunity.
We'll do it again.
We will do it again, please. Yes. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Marjorie.
I'm grateful. It has been a wonderful conversation, and I'm so grateful to Milton. I want to give you a call to action if you're listening. I think it is worthwhile to go to Discover the Palm Beaches website and look at the language surrounding the tourist development tax dollars and teach yourself more about why those dollars are so important. And if you know someone, say something, talk to people, have conversations with your friends, and spread the word that what we're accomplishing in Palm Beach County, because of people like Dave Lawrence in the Cultural Council, Kelly Smallridge in the Business Development Board, Milton Segarra at Discover the Palm Beaches, all of this really matters. And it matters because we put money where our mouths are. And in this case, it's not even our own dollars as residents, which is the best deal ever if you're looking for one. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope that you will like it, follow the podcast, leave a review. If you have an idea for another guest or a topic, email me at info@artsgarage.org, and I'll be happy to consider it. And definitely follow Discover the Palm Beaches on social media and get on their newsletter because they keep us up to date all the time. Milton, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to be here with you.